You've seen the headlines: Mars rover lands, Mars helicopter flies, Mars colony coming soon. What you haven't seen are the mission reports that don't make the news. The ones describing soil so toxic it destroys organic matter on contact. Radiation so intense that cancer becomes a question of when, not if. Temperature swings that crack steel. Mysterious methane spikes that appear and vanish with no explanation. This isn't science fiction, it's data, documented by NASA, confirmed by international agencies, and quietly filed away. Subscribe and comment where you're from. These are 20 sinister Mars discoveries that should have made headlines. Number 1. The radiation you can't escape. On Earth, our magnetic field and atmosphere block most cosmic radiation. Mars has neither. Data from the Curiosity rover measured radiation levels on the surface at about 0.67 millisieverts per day. That's roughly the equivalent of getting a full-body CT scan every 5 days. Do the math. A 6-month journey plus surface time means astronauts would absorb more radiation in a single mission than most nuclear plant workers receive in a lifetime. NASA's own studies estimate significantly increased cancer risk. This isn't speculation, it's measurement. Number 2, the soil that kills on contact. Every grain of Martian dirt contains perchlorates. These are chlorine compounds toxic to human thyroid function, and they're everywhere. The Phoenix lander confirmed concentrations up to 0.5% in some samples. That doesn't sound like much until you realize this dust gets into everything. Spacesuits, airlocks, lungs, water systems. There's no brushing it off. Researchers at the University of Edinburgh found that when Martian perchlorates combine with UV radiation, they become even more lethal. The surface is essentially self-sterilizing. Number 3, the temperature swings that crack steel. Mars looks cold, and it is. But the real danger isn't the cold itself, it's the swing. At the equator, temperatures can reach a mild 20 degrees Celsius at noon and plummet to minus 70 by midnight. That's a 90-degree swing in hours. Materials expand and contract, seals fail, electronics malfunction. The Spirit rover suffered repeated issues from thermal stress. Engineers on Earth can only do so much when every Martian day attacks your equipment with temperature whiplash. Number 4, the dust that destroys everything. Martian dust isn't like Earth dust. It's finer than talcum powder and electrostatically charged. It clings to solar panels, clogs filters, and coats sensors. In 2018, a global dust storm blotted out the sun for months. Opportunity, the rover that had survived 15 years on Mars, went silent. The dust blocked its solar panels. It never woke up. NASA lost contact permanently. That's not a malfunction, that's Mars. Number 5, the atmosphere that boils your blood. Mars has an atmosphere. Technically, it's about 1% the pressure of Earth's. At that pressure, exposed liquids boil at body temperature. Without a suit, your blood wouldn't exactly boil inside your veins, but the moisture in your lungs and eyes would vaporize almost instantly. You'd have maybe 15 seconds of useful consciousness. This isn't a dramatic exaggeration, it's physics, and those are just the environmental hazards. What scientists actually found on the surface is stranger. Number 6, the methane that shouldn't exist. In 2019, Curiosity detected a methane spike of 21 parts per billion. Then it vanished. Methane breaks down quickly in the Martian atmosphere, which means something is actively producing it. On Earth, most methane comes from life, biological processes. NASA hasn't confirmed any biological source. They also haven't ruled it out. The spikes keep happening with no pattern scientists can explain. Number 7, the water that defies the rules. Mars is supposedly dry, but data from the Mars Express orbiter suggests liquid water might exist beneath the South Pole. Not ice, liquid. The problem is the temperature there should make liquid water impossible. Some researchers propose high salt concentrations could lower the freezing point. Others aren't convinced. The debate continues. The water, if it's real, stays hidden. Number 8, the streaks that move. Satellite images show dark lines on Martian slopes that appear, grow, and fade with the seasons. Scientists call them recurring slope lineae. For years, the leading theory was flowing salt water. Then chemical analysis didn't match. Now the explanation is dry, granular flows. Maybe. The patterns remain under investigation. Number 9. The molecules that raise questions. In 2018, Curiosity confirmed organic molecules in 3 billion-year-old rocks at Gale Crater. Organic doesn't mean life. It means carbon-based compounds. These could come from meteorites, geological processes, or something else. NASA was careful with the announcement. The molecules exist. The source remains unknown. Number 10. The magnetic ghosts. Mars lost its global magnetic field billions of years ago, but patches of intense magnetism remain in the crust. The Mars Global Surveyor mapped them. Some are 10 times stronger than anything on Earth's surface. Scientists think they're remnants of the ancient field, frozen in rock. What created such intense localized fields? The answer isn't clear. The patterns don't match any simple model. Number 11. The silence that could kill you. If something goes wrong on Mars, Houston can't help in real time. Radio signals take up to 20 minutes each way. That's 40 minutes for a question and answer. In an emergency, you're on your own. Astronauts would have to make life or death decisions without ground support. No simulation fully prepares anyone for absolute isolation when equipment fails. Number 12. The mind that breaks first. NASA has studied isolation for decades. In analog missions simulating Mars conditions, participants showed increased depression and interpersonal conflict. Some couldn't finish the studies. Mars missions would last years. The Mars 500 simulation showed significant mood deterioration even on Earth. The human mind wasn't built for this. Number 13. The body that wastes away. Even with exercise, astronauts lose bone density and muscle mass in space. After 6 months, bone loss can hit 15%. Mars missions take years. Returning to gravity becomes dangerous. The body adapts to space by forgetting how to function on planets. Number 14. The machines that always fail. Every Mars mission has experienced equipment problems. Perseverance had caching issues. InSight's probe couldn't penetrate the soil. Spirit got stuck permanently. Engineers improvise from Earth, but solutions take weeks. On a crewed mission, failure could mean death before help arrives. The dust degrades everything. Number 15. The rescue that never comes. If something catastrophic happens, there's no extraction. Launch windows to Mars open every 26 months. Miss it, and stranded astronauts wait over 2 years. Every plan assumes nothing goes wrong. History suggests otherwise. Number 16. The planet that rejects visitors. Since 1960, over 50 missions have been sent to Mars. More than half failed. Orbiters lost. Landers crashed. Rovers silent. The Soviets lost nearly every attempt. Researchers call it the galactic ghoul. Mars doesn't welcome anything. Number 17. The storms that erase the sky. Mars has global dust storms lasting months. In 2018, one encircled the planet. Opportunity died. Solar panels went dark. Visibility dropped to 0. Any mission relying on solar power faces potential catastrophe when the dust comes. Number 18. The chemistry that sterilizes everything. Those perchlorates in the soil become more destructive when hit by UV radiation. The surface actively breaks down organic material. Finding life means looking underground. The Martian surface is essentially a chemical weapon against biology. Number 19. The moon that's falling. Phobos is spiraling inward. In 50 million years, it crashes or breaks into rings. Tidal forces already crack its surface. Mars exists in slow-motion catastrophe. Even its moons aren't stable. Number 20. The silence from everywhere. Scientists have listened for signals from Mars for decades. Nothing. No electromagnetic signatures. No biosignatures. Mars shows no signs of anything. Some researchers think that's the real discovery. Lifeless worlds might be the norm. Earth might be the exception. All of this data is public. NASA archives, ESA reports, peer-reviewed journals. You can look it up yourself. These discoveries were documented, studied, and published. They just never made headlines. The reason is simple. They don't fit the narrative we've been sold. For decades, space agencies and tech billionaires have painted Mars as humanity's backup plan. A fixer-upper planet waiting for pioneers. The next great adventure. But the data tells a different story. Mars isn't dormant, it's hostile. The radiation never stops. The dust infiltrates everything. The soil poisons anything organic. The temperature swings crack metal. The atmosphere would boil your lungs. And no astronaut who lands there can ever be rescued if things go wrong. Hollywood gave us terraforming dreams and heroic astronauts planting flags. The reality documented by actual missions is a planet that has killed most of what we've sent there. A surface that sterilizes itself. A moon slowly falling toward inevitable collision. And silence. Nothing but silence where we keep hoping to find something else. The red planet has been sending us a message for decades. We just haven't been paying attention.
Like if you learned something new. Share if this changed how you see the red planet.